Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Roman Reigns is set to main event WrestleMania yet again, this time in a triple threat match against CM Punk and Seth Rollins. All three men have been doing a brilliant job building their feud, and the involvement of Paul Heyman has been raising speculations that the WWE Hall of Famer could end up betraying Roman Reigns to shock the WWE Universe. However, before Heyman can betray his tribal chief, the latter could play a game of his own and betray his wise men. Roman Reigns could bring Rikishi in as his new manager, which could change the landscape of the Bloodline saga. Rikishi is no stranger to the Bloodline, himself being the father to the Usos and Solo Sikoa. He also shares blood ties with the tribal chief. Rikishi was last seen in 2020 during The Undertaker's retirement ceremony. He has been quite vocal about potentially getting involved in the Bloodline drama in his podcast Off the Top. On the other hand, Heyman could align with CM Punk, which has been teased over the past few weeks, leading to an intriguing feud between Reigns and Punk over the summer. While the betrayals would make instant headlines, Seth Rollins could cash in on the opportunity and take out both the distracted stars Reigns and Punk to pick up a win at the grandest stage of them all. This could further lead to a potential storyline between the tribal chief and the best in the world, leading into SummerSlam 2025. Fans will have to wait and see what WWE has in store for these stars following WrestleMania 41. WWE has confirmed Roman Reigns' match date at WrestleMania. The two-night spectacle of the year is upon us and several matches have already been confirmed for the show. Among them, it has been confirmed that the triple threat match between Reigns, Rollins, and Punk is set to main event night one of the Showcase of the Immortals. This makes it clear that the undisputed WWE Championship match between Cody Rhodes and John Cena will be the main event of night 2. Fans will now have to wait and see what else WWE has planned for WrestleMania. The buzz surrounding WrestleMania had already reached a fever pitch, but nothing could have prepared the WWE Universe for what was about to unfold. With Roman Reigns absent from WWE television for months following his shocking loss at SummerSlam, speculation ran rampant. Some fans believed he was taking time off to recover, while others feared he was stepping away permanently. But as WrestleMania weekend approached, rumors swirled. The tribal chief wasn't just returning, he had a plan that would shake the very foundation of WWE. The night begins with suspense. Night 2 of WrestleMania opened with an electrifying atmosphere. The main event was set to be Cody Rhodes vs. Seth Rollins for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, two men who had clawed their way to the top in Reigns' absence. Paul Heyman, now firmly aligned with Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline's new recruits, had promised that the Bloodline's dominance would continue, even without Roman Reigns at the helm. Yet, Heyman's demeanor had changed in recent weeks. Despite his best efforts to mask it, there was a visible unease in his body language. Reports had surfaced that he hadn't spoken to Reigns in months. And then, just before the main event, WWE cut to a mysterious limousine arriving outside the stadium. The crowd erupted. Roman Reigns was here. The return of the tribal chief. As Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins made their way to the ring, the energy in the building was electric. The match was a classic, both men throwing everything they had at each other in pursuit of championship glory. But then, as the match reached its climax, the arena lights dimmed, and a familiar theme blared through the speakers. Head of the table. The audience erupted as Roman Reigns stepped onto the WrestleMania stage, clad in all black, his signature golden glove gleaming under the lights. He looked more focused, more dangerous than ever before. But what stunned everyone wasn't just his return, it was the expression on Paul Heyman's face. The wise man stood at ringside, frozen in disbelief. Roman didn't storm to the ring. He took his time, slowly making his way down the ramp, his eyes never leaving Heyman. When he finally entered the ring, the energy shifted. Cody and Seth had stopped fighting, unsure of what was about to happen. Reigns took the microphone and, in a chillingly calm voice, addressed the WWE Universe. The twist that no one saw coming. I built this. I made this. And I trusted one man to protect it while I was gone. Reigns turned his gaze toward Heyman, who looked visibly shaken. The tension was unbearable. Solo Sikoa and the rest of the new bloodline members stood on the stage, hesitant to interfere. "You were supposed to be my wise man," Reigns continued, his voice laced with controlled fury. "But you betrayed me." The crowd gasped. Heyman shook his head, pleading, "My tribal chief, I would never." But Roman cut him off. "You let my bloodline crumble. You let Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins fight for what belongs to me. You let Solo think he could lead without me. You failed me." Heyman dropped to his knees, begging for forgiveness. "Please, my tribal chief, you don't understand." But Reigns had already made up his mind. In a shocking move, he stepped aside and gestured toward the stage. And then, the unthinkable happened. From the entrance ramp emerged Brock Lesnar. The Beast incarnate, the man Heyman had managed for years, walked down the ramp with a smirk. The audience was in complete shock. Roman had called in the one man who had been Heyman's greatest success and greatest nightmare. Lesnar entered the ring, standing side by side with Reigns. The tribal chief extended his hand, and Lesnar shook it. The Ultimate Alliance had been formed. Heyman's past and present had come together, and he was stuck in the middle. Heyman's Judgment Day. "Paul," Reigns said, looking down at his former wise man, "you always said you were loyal to power." "Well, I am power." Lesnar grabbed Heyman by his collar, hoisting him to his feet. "You played both sides for too long, Paul," Lesnar growled. "Now you answer to him." Reigns smirked and signaled for Lesnar to step aside. With the entire WWE Universe watching in disbelief, Roman delivered a thunderous Superman punch to Paul Heyman, sending him sprawling to the mat. Lesnar followed it up with a devastating F5, officially severing Heyman from his past allegiances. The bloodline on the stage looked shaken. Solo Sikoa had a choice to make: remain loyal to Heyman's crumbling faction or acknowledge the true tribal chief once again. The aftermath. As Cody and Seth looked on, Reigns picked up the WWE Championship and raised it above his head, making one thing clear: the tribal chief was back, and he wasn't asking for permission. Heyman was left in a crumpled heap, his empire shattered. Solo Sikoa and the new bloodline hesitated but ultimately lowered their heads in respect, realizing that Reigns had never truly lost his grip on the faction. WrestleMania ended with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar standing tall, an alliance no one ever expected. The biggest twist in WWE history had just unfolded, and the repercussions would be felt for years to come. One thing was certain: Paul Heyman's era of manipulation was over. And in its place, a new, more ruthless reign had begun. The WWE Universe had been served a stark reminder: you don't betray the tribal chief and get away with it. Here's the dramatic twist on Roman Reigns' return at WrestleMania, delivering the ultimate shock to Paul Heyman. Let me know if you'd like any refinements.